Well, Cyberlink has some pretty nice features. I really like this sort of grays, this sort of thing. I don't know what this effect is called, but it kind of makes me look like a doctor or a scientist, and I like it. And plus, I got this microscope right here, which contributes to it. But I like how this whole setting looks, so I'm going to stay with this effect probably for my future videos. If you hate it, if you hate it, tell me and I'll get rid of it. But I don't have subscribers anyway, so I don't think anyone will care. But anyways, in this video, I want to talk about how to buy and sell and on eBay. In this video, well, more specifically, I'll just talk about how to buy on eBay because I've been buying a lot of stuff on eBay, and I think I am pretty good at it. So I'd like to tell you some of my secrets, which may not be secrets. I haven't found any nice guides that explains what I do to win all my listings. So first, what I won on eBay, so you know I'm not some crappy buyer. That I know what I'm talking about. Let's see, right here, this laptop I'm recording from. You know what it is? Well, of course you don't because you can't read my mind. This is a Dell XPS 15. It's model number L521X. So it is a recent version. It's the latest version, the 2012 version, updated in 2012, and it's still being sold by Dell, at least until the new Haswell processors come out, which may have already been released. I don't know. I haven't kept track of the Haswell processors. But this computer, I got for only $300 or $350. That is absolutely unheard of because retail cost is $2,000, and eBay typical sales are $150 or $1,500. So getting $300 is absolutely unheard of. But if you know my technique and you have patience, you can get laptops that are this good for that price. Another laptop that I got, well, that I didn't get because I was asking my dad to get it because his laptop screen is broken and he really needs a good laptop for his video editing and photo editing. That one was a HP Envy. It was an HP Envy with a Core i7 3632QM. Same processor as the Dell XPS. It had 12 gigabytes of RAM versus this one, which had 16 gigabytes of RAM. It had a 1 terabyte hard drive versus this laptop, which has a 1 terabyte hard drive and a 128 gigabytes SSD. So, that laptop was only sold for $365. An HP Envy with that specs was sold only for $365. And the listing ended an hour after it was posted. And these are all buy it nows. The key to winning items cheaply on eBay is to go for the buy it nows, because auctions are typically too competitive unless you can find a search term that is very obscure. But usually, even if there is a very obscure term, one term can screw it up. And I'll use this as an example. If you're selling laptops and you find that in the title of the computer, you find no mention of the computer's specs, no mention of the computer's brand, but you have the word laptop in there. When the listing goes down to about 5 hours or so, there is this one feature of eBay, and that is to go from lowest to highest. Lowest to highest and best match. They tend to list the best, the ending listings first. So even with the obscure listings, you're still not getting a good deal, or typically, because there is even obscure listings end up getting good exposure near the end of its time. So you want to look at the buy it nows. That's what I do. So what I do to win these two laptops, these two very good laptops, that is almost impossible. It's not impossible to get because I got them, but it's highly improbable to get unless you're right there at the right time. And that's how I define luck. When preparation meets opportunity. That's my 2 requirements for luck. Now I will teach you the preparation you need. But first, I'll explain one more thing that I got. One thing that I won just today, is a netbook, and it's a very good deal for this netbook. Not as good as these two laptops, but when you're getting down to lower price objects, like netbooks and iPod touches, then you don't see such a big jump really between the prices. I got this netbook for about half the price of what you would get, but even half or what you would get on eBay if you were to buy from stores, it'd be even higher. Retail always sells higher. As far as I can compare right now, I got this netbook for only $50, and this is a Toshiba, or was a Lenovo S9 netbook with a 1.6 gigahertz N270 Atom processor and 1 gigabyte of RAM. That usually sells for about $100 on eBay, and perhaps more in stores, but I don't think stores would sell any, well, current stores, unless they're on the black market, or not black market, it was like Black Friday, they won't sell any laptops with the N270 processor. The N series is kind of old. They probably would sell it with the Z series now. But I got that only for $50, which is a great deal. But if it was an auction, there's no way I could have bought it for $50. So another reason for why I should stay away from auctions. And now I'm going to get to the secret technique that I use. One thing you gotta do is, or one thing you gotta keep in mind is the bookmarks. You have to bookmark it. But after that's the end step. So you have to what the steps you got to do is rather complicated. So you do all these complicated ways to filter out all of the unnecessary things. So first you got to choose what you want. I will use my example of a laptop or netbook. So I want a laptop or netbook. I will start general, very general. What is one thing you want your laptop or netbook to have, or netbook to have? Well, I won't settle for anything less than an i7. So anything that any netbook or laptop, or just laptop I would have, has to have an i7 processor. Well, if I want an i5, then I mean, why go through all the trouble, really? So i7, that is my search term. Well then, okay, so then you have your i7. Then what is the category of the search? Well, I know I want to get rid of all the crap of laptop accessories. I want to limit only down to the laptop itself. So I switched to the category to laptops and netbooks. So now I've limited it down to only to the laptops in the categories. Well, then I want to limit down even more. So what you want to do now? Now you have to look at the price range. What is your budget? You can't make it too low, and you can't make it too high. If you make it too low, now you're getting all the broken things. You're getting for parts or for not working laptops. So say in this case, I selected my price range to be $250 through $350. Actually, I think I have it for $300 to $350. That's a good price range. But you don't want it too high because then it will just be over your budget range. So you don't want to do that. So I set it to $300 through $350. So that's reduced it way less. Now you want to do something more. Something I don't think many people know of. You go to the search bar, and right beside your term, there's some extra things you can do. One of the things you can do is the minus function. You can do minus the search term you want to get rid of. So if you're left with a huge list still after all of that, and you want to get rid of some useless crap that is in the listings that you don't want, then you do minus, say in this case is AC adapter. So minus quotation AC adapter. Now it will get rid of everything in that listing with AC adapter in it. But if the title doesn't have AC adapter in it, and you want to get rid of it in the description, then you select search in description as well. So that will be in the advanced options. But also you have to be aware that if you do that, it may also get rid of all of the listings, because almost all of the netbook and laptop listings has some mention of its power adapter. So I wouldn't miss so you have to watch that too. But there's some things you may want to get rid of. For example, if you're looking for a good processor, there's many types of i7 processors. You got the first to the fourth generation. You got Arundel, you got Clarksfield, I think that's what it is. You got Ivy Bridge, you got Sandy Bridge, you got Haswell. You want something that's more high end. For $300, it's normal to get the Allendale processor. That's usually you get it for about it's about $300. Yeah, so those are typical, but you don't want typical. You want something that's highly improbable, highly rare, something that's you would really only get by luck, and without preparation, the chance of you getting it by luck is some tiny number. So what I'm teaching you now is preparation. Now, what to do next? Now that you have a huge list of all mixtures of processors. You mainly is only the first gen i7s. You want to get rid of the first gen i7s. So you go into the search bar. You do minus i7 620M, or you just do minus i7, or not even just minus 620M. That will get rid of every listing that has the 620M i7 i7 processor, because that is the most common processor, and that's the processor you don't want. Now, after all that, you're left with nothing in your search term or in your search. So you have successfully filtered out everything useless. Now bookmark it. So what happened is, every once in a while you're going back to the bookmark and you will see nothing. Then, after you see nothing, that's okay. That means that nothing good has come across. You're prepared, but there's no opportunity yet. So every once in a while you do have something pop up, and you know that anything that pops up has been perfectly tailored to match exactly what you want. So right when you click on it, read the description and just buy it, because you set it up already perfectly. You know that it's around a nice price range. You've subtracted all the broken laptops. You've subtracted all of the bad laptops, bad processors. You're left with only the good stuff, and that's how you end up getting XPSs. How you end up getting NVs, all of them with the latest processors for a shit price. And that's how I also got my netbook. These things are impossible to get if you were to rely on luck alone. And that's the thing about, I guess, that's the secret to, I guess, success in anything. If you rely on luck alone, you're kind of stuck. So you got to have preparation. And that is the secret, my secret to ending up with super good devices. So what I'm doing next is coming up with some for microscopes. But, if you're messing around with microscopes, that might be harder to get, because I think they're typically smarter. A lot of these people who end up selling these laptops for cheap are they're not exactly, they don't exactly know what they're selling. They're like thrift stores. It's like, except the thrift stores sell their laptops for a super high price. I mean, not laptops. They have these desktops usually. So they're selling these desktops with I don't remember which was, like Pentium 4s, and they're selling it for $150. $150 for a Pentium 4 laptop or a desktop with 1 gigabyte of RAM. That's they don't understand their laptops. I mean, their computers, so they're going to sell it for cheap or for some high price. But the other way is true. If they don't understand it, and they sell something super expensive, they could sell it for a super cheap price. And that is the filter. So try out the filter. This doesn't necessarily only apply to eBay. This is just a skill, really. It's a general skill. And you can apply it to Amazon, to Craigslist, to really anything that allows you to customize your search. So that's my secret. I should probably summarize it for you, but I'm just doing this without any preparation, so I can't summarize it on the top of my head. But yeah, I guess you can rewatch this video, this 15-minute video, as many times as you want until you learn the secrets, or you already know it. So you can just turn off this video, because I've wasted 15 minutes of your time. 15, yeah.